and I'm excited. I have beautiful Janelle selves with me today, and I'm honored to be able to talk to you about your gifts and also what you're offering for in the HarmonyFest as a reader. So welcome, Janelle. And just to give you a little bit of an, well, for me, I'm actually part of, for those who don't know me, Sacred You community. I'm helping out with these chats throughout this time, and I run the Empower You tribe in the Sacred You community. So you know a little bit about me as well, because Janelle and I are for the first time today, and but I'm excited about this topic, and it's something that's really close to my heart, and really want to talk about Janelle's ability and gift, because Janelle guides, she talks from what I've read, she talks directly with spirit. She's an intuitive healer, and she works with clairvoyance, seeing, clairaudience, hearing, clairsentience, feeling. And this one is what I'm really interested in, because it's a tricky one to say. It's clairaudience.
Clairaudience.
Audience. Oh, it's spelt wrong.
So
there.
I hear.
Yeah, it's a knowing. It says knowing, but hearing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, claircognizance. That one, the knowing one is claircognizance.
Yes, claircognizant. That's the word. So thank you. And during her reading, she connects with the divine spirit and helps, you know, her guides help to bring you messages to assist in finding clarity and direction. She's also able to do health scans, where she can feel the energy in different parts of her own body and detects visions of varying shades of grey. Ooh, that sounds interesting. And Janelle's philosophy is that she's simply a tool for spirit to convey information, and she's also a life coach and Reiki master. So welcome to the space today, Janelle. So happy to have you here, and curious to get to know where it all started for you.
Oh,
lovely to meet you. Is that an open question?
Well, it is, and I must admit, before I did the Zoom meeting today, I was thinking back, and my first recollection always had deja vu as a kid. Like, we would be driving somewhere, and I'm like, I've been here. Dad's going to do this, mum's going to do that. Always had that knowing, even about the age of 4. And then about 10, I got a premonition around a certain event that was going to happen. And I woke up like I had a dream. I woke up and it happened within seconds. Wow. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out the way I did in the dream, but still, it still manifested very, very fast. And then from there, you know, married at 18, 2 kids, divorced at 25, remarried again at 27, 3 more kids plus 2 stepkids, so 7 kids under my belt. You know, my husband goes, I want 2 more. I'm like, oh, no way, mate.
Oh, my goodness. It's like you're repeating my story here. It's so eerie. I don't know. We landed here together for a reason today, but yeah. I relate.
Yeah. So anyway, I ended up, because in Australia, in Queensland, as a psychic, right up until 1984, you could be put in jail as a psychic. It was against the law. Yeah. Whoa. In Queensland, to be a psychic.
Oh, okay. That's something new. I didn't know that.
So it was quite a, you know, everything. I remember my grandma taking me, because grandma was psychic as well, but we'd go to the tea room and have a cup of tea, and I'd sit there and she'd nick off with the lady behind the screen and have a read. So on the outside, it was a tea room. So that's sort of like a bit of a different space. So I didn't step out. I was a bookkeeper for 40 years. I decided to take the simple step, ended up bringing up my last 3 children on my own, bought my own home, blah, 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 blah. And then I got to 59 and my Saturn return hit like a train.
No tomorrow.
And I just handed in my resignation. in June, which is the end of our financial year. So my supervisor was not happy. And then I stepped forward. So I had already done my Reiki. I did my Reiki in 98. 98 was, my first Reiki was really big. So they took me, I did this healing, they took me straight into this girl, and I saw her whole past history, which was quite traumatic, abuse. So it was sort of, that was the real beginning, as far as being in this space. 59, I stepped out. I worked in a small alternative shop for a little while.
Yeah.
And that was not working as well for me financially, because I was still paying my home. So I travelled for 3 years with a group throughout Queensland doing psychic reads. So that's sort of a bit of a background around how I've got to where I am now.
Right.
So as far as connecting to spirit, they will often speak through me. Okay. So what happens is when they step in, basically. So because I'm a Reiki master, I allow that, because I feel that I have the protection of the Reiki, and I do a very strong protections mechanism before I start reads. But they basically step in. Now, it can be anywhere, because I connect with the Galactic Federation, and I also connect with the Council of Angels.
Wow.
So it just depends who's on duty at the time as to who comes through. But people tell me that my face changes, my voice changes. It's like I step outside of my own body and they step in.
Wow.
Now, I know it sounds a little bit trippy.
No, but isn't that exactly what channeling is?
Yes.
Or is it similar, or how would you define the difference? Or would you say that is channeling?
I would say that is channeling, but by the same token, that doesn't happen every time, but I still channel.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so it's like sometimes some of the guides that I get through for the client, they're very, these clients have a lot to do. And the guides want to give them the direct knowledge. They can still give it through me, but when they step in, the client is a lot more focused on what they're receiving, because it's like a direct link. It's like you're talking to you what do I want to say? You're talking to the teacher that's going to grade you for the next 10, 20 years. Yep. Okay. So it's that. It's like, this is important information. You need to step forward and do this. This is your
next step.
Angelic. This is your contract. This is what you've stepped up to do. So that's when I channel in reads. 9 times out of 10, my guides, I'm very, very blessed. My guides are great with timelines. They're just like, yes. So
they're pretty precise. Very precise. Yeah. Okay.
Very, very precise. Yeah. And I have Virgo on my 2nd house. So that's your value space, Virgo, ding, ding, ding. But they're very, very precise, and they're great with timelines. So I did a reading for actually my ex. We were both the mother-in-laws. So my daughter's mother-in-law, I did this reading, and they were selling the house. And I said to her, I said, it's 3 years. And she said, I'm not happy with that. And I'm like, sorry.
Out of my control. Yeah.
So what date did the house sell? 3 years to the dot.
Oh, wow. Isn't it fascinating?
And
I mean, in a way, it's helpful, because then you're not putting, unrealistic expectations or on what's possible or what's not possible. You know what I mean? It's like you're not keeping yourself in anxiety, worrying about it selling all the time. If you can just trust and be open to receiving what the messages are telling you are to be truth, right? So fascinating stuff. Wow, what a gift. What a gift.
So,
I want to just spiral back, just just rewind back a little bit, because something you said I think is really important, and I feel like the watchers, the people in the community, or people that are new to all of this, right? Because some people, it is quite new, and I was fascinated that you said 1984. Like, I didn't realize that that was illegal until, I mean, I think I was in the journey. I'd had two girls at that point, from 81 and 82. So I was probably doing illegal things too, but I was unaware of it. Rituals and things like that. But the thing I wanted to say is, could you just talk into a little bit about the solar return and how that comes into play in people's lives? Like you said, at 59, you had a huge awakening.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, because this is really important to understand that there are cycles, right?
Yes. Okay. So I also do a bit of astrology, but I've looked at it since I was 15, but I haven't actually got a piece of paper to say I can do it. Yep.
Yeah.
So Saturn takes 30 years, between 29 or 28 and a half and 30 years to do a complete cycle of your zodiac wheel. Okay. Now, at the age of 30 or 20, between 28 and a half and 30, I find 32, generally speaking, you move into that adult stage. So all of a sudden people are like, well, maybe I need to have kids. Maybe I need to buy a house. Do all like the adult, stepping forward. Yeah, look at the budget. Oh my God, do I want a budget? No. That type of stuff, right? And then your second Saturn return comes in between 58 and a half and about 62. Some people get it. I think 58 and a half is about the earliest, and 62 would be the latest. So, different people, different space. So then you're moving into a totally different space where you've raised your children, you've given, you've assisted others, you've been the teacher, you've been the mother, you've been the nurturer. And then all of a sudden we're allowed to step forward and to actually see what we want in our life. Okay, so this is like the midlife crisis where all the guys go and buy a motorbike. Yeah. Okay, it's that sort of space.
I've had a client like that.
Yeah, like it's so, it's interesting when you read. I don't read for a lot of men, I do more women, but when I do get the guys, it's just like they're so like bang, like yes.
On point.
Yeah, they're really good with that. So then you're moving into that space of so it goes up until about the age of about 88 and a half. All right. So that's right. So that's the cycle. Then we need to look back at where our true needs need to be met and how we want to walk forward in that. I don't feel it's the last. We're coming into this energy now. A lot of people are going to live a lot longer. So you're going to have like maybe another 2 certain cycles after this one. At least maybe 3. Am I going to have 3? Saying me 3. But then it's really looking. So you're going to find that how you want to move forward. So when that Saturn return hits, it's like I've put a square peg in a round hole for the last 30 years. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to put a square peg in a square peg.
Yeah.
What do I want? What do I need to move forward in my life? So it's really going in deeply and having a look at where your values sit, not always worrying about the children. I found it very, very difficult. I would always drop everything in my life for my children.
And that's a very, very common, I mean, it's innately inside of us, isn't it? With something we've carried through about being a mother, to be this, and all the rules around it. And it took me many years to learn that as well. So it's not uncommon and it's totally normal. And we want the best for our children, of course, and we want to be there and but at the, you know, at the same time, we've got to balance that, you know, at the expense of what our own well-being. So yeah, very, very cool. And so could you tell me a little bit about that time when you said you were 59? How did it sort of happen or appear? How did you step into the clairvoyance?
Okay, so how did it appear? That's a good question.
What
so
showed maybe you don't remember.
Yeah. Well, it was all very fast. I knew initially I was going to, so I tend to do things in a hurry. Okay. All right. Okay. So like, yeah. If I make a decision, flew over to Europe in a week, you know, went to my daughter and she worked in shoes, and she said to me, I said, I need a pair of boots. She said, Mum, it's January in Australia. What the are you doing?
Yeah.
I said, I'm flying to Europe next week.
Yeah.
So I do things fast. So what happened basically was once I resigned, I connected with the little shop, and I was trying to get the work as a life coach. But I found that people didn't know what a life coach was back then. Not in Brisbane.
No.
It just wasn't happening. Maybe Sydney or Melbourne. Yes.
Yeah.
So then the girl that worked in the shop, that owned the shop, she said to me, she was also a reader and a Reiki master. Yeah. She said to me, I want you to give me a reading. I said, I don't know what to do. Don't do readings. She said, well, just give me 10 minutes, see what comes. Well, okay. And Spirit started me in that stage in past lives. So everything they gave me was past life related. So they took me back. You're having this issue because of this lifetime. We need to cut the ties. So I cut the ties with the past lifetimes, and then I move them forward. If it's a health issue, we clear it, moves it forward. So anyway, I did the read, cleared an health issue that she had. She walked into my door 5 minutes later and she said, congratulations, your first client's in 10 minutes. I'm like, holy cow.
That was a quick interview, an easy interview. Yeah. But so did you get a message a clear message that this was going to happen? Like what you were going to, when you quit your bookkeeping, what was your intention for you to go life coaching, was it?
Life coaching and Reiki.
And
was
Reiki,
what I intended.
You've done Reiki. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then the clairvoyance side of it came in a little bit later.
No, I always had it. I just never connected to it.
I mean, the connection to it. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when I first did a past life hearing was my daughter's PD's 46 now. My eldest daughter rang me from Sydney, Mum, my arm's dying. My arm's black. The doctors don't know what's going on. The blood's going down. It's not right. I said, okay. Am I allowed to go back and see? So that was in 97, 96, late 96, I did that. And it turned out, it took me back to 1500s. She was a male. She was a soldier. She had her arm decapitated from back. So she lost half her shoulder and her arm.
Wow.
And she died on the battlefield. She had brought that energy through into this lifetime. Yeah. So I cut the ties. And 2 days later, she rang me. She said, I don't know what you did. She said, but it's fine. And she's had no reoccurrence since then.
Wow. I was actually going to ask you about any significant stories you wanted to share. That's amazing. That is very, very significant. How old was she then?
19.
Wow. So you already had the gift. You were just not. Yeah. Wow.
Not in it. Too busy doing
other things. Life. Yeah. That's incredible. Oh, I love that story. By the way, if anyone's watching and they have any questions for Janelle, pop them in the comments and we'll get to them. I can't see them, but I'm sure we can connect to them later after we've finished, or Sophia can read them out. But this is so fascinating.
So I see it as a gift. I feel that I'm blessed, but I like to remain humble. Like I don't be, I've worked in circles and it can be, I work the mind, body and spirit. in Brisbane. And you got 50 girls in the room, lots of
Doing
different
readings?
energies.
Doing
Yeah,
readings?
doing reads. Yeah. Yeah,
So
we
how do
just
you
do it.
protect yourself from the other energies around you when you're in an environment like that? Do you have a specific process?
Yeah, I do. I have a very specific, I put myself in, the golden and crystalline light. Then I do the infinity symbols, put myself in a little block, draw the energy through. And I ask for direction and clarity for all my clients. That's what I ask for. So I often get really heavy. I do get light reads too, but I often get challenging, like people with big stuff, put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find no issue. When I was working, while I was traveling, we were traveling in a group of 13 psychics.
Wow.
So I learned very quickly to be in my own space.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no issue, regardless of the size of the room, keeping that it's just for that client. It's all that I get.
Yeah, that integrity around your energy, because energy is everything. It's everywhere. So we're connected as one. So it's really, really important to, I guess, discern and keep yourself in that space to connect with who you connect with. And it sounds like a fascinating experience as well when you're reading, right? What comes through.
Yeah, it does. It's amazing. I'm sometimes blown away, really, with what comes through. But I don't remember it. People come back and they say to me, 2 years ago, you told me this and this, and you hit the nail right on the head. I said, I'm really glad you remember, because I don't.
Yeah. So it's almost like you are given the information and then you're disconnected from it. Yeah, that's incredible. And that's important too, isn't it, really? Yeah. Do you feel like people can develop the ability? What's your take on being able, are you innately gifted from the time you were born as a soul?
I think so. With the energy changes we're going through now, so we're going through, the 3D. A lot of people there are still going to be some that stay in 3D space. Okay, but that's okay. That's where they need to be. A lot of people now I'm meeting are coming up into the 4D, and there are certainly people in 5D. I'm getting that we're going to be, as healers, we are going to be going up to 7D. All right. So we're going up quite highly. And they keep telling me to make sure that I need to be in a space where it's just me, because they're going to hit me with the socks with it. But I feel that with the energy coming in and with the energy changes, what's happening is that, because like we've currently got Neptune sitting in Pisces. Now, what is Pisces? The 12th house, the unconscious, all of that spiritual energy, the house of karma, all of that type of stuff. So our intuitive space, and I think Neptune's there for another 3 years, our intuitive space is growing like this. So a lot of people, generally speaking, everybody's got Pisces in their chart with a Neptune somewhere. Neptune is sitting in Pisces. So that energy is going to be growing. Okay. Growing and growing. So that ability, people are not going to necessarily need us to give them the information. And I feel like that energy is coming in. Just see if I can check the right day. Okay. All right. Okay. So by 2025, they're saying to me 62.9% of the population will be getting more spiritual knowledge, not necessarily all in different manners. They're saying to me, what is it? You get pins and needles up your arm when you're feeling something's happening, or someone says something to you and you go, yeah, and so they're stepping in a lot stronger. Just be careful, because sometimes I just flip into the channel thing. So that's where that's coming in 2025. They're saying
Yeah.
to me, all who decide to stay in this earthly plane, because a lot of us are going to be taking off, but the ones that decide to stay as healers are going to be grounded. Oh, okay. So they're giving me a shape of like not so much of the solid body form. Okay, more light energy. I just feel like it's more light energy. By okay, so day, month. Okay. 2 runs. Okay. So there'll be two lots of upgrades where we go straight to that 7th, up to that 7th, and that's where it's mainly light energy. And there will be one group that passes through in the first 6 months of 2027. The second group will pass in the second half of 2027. And they're saying to me, that's all that's needed at this moment, for we have not aligned everything. Everything is not aligned yet to give you a specific date, because they'll often give me like the 5th of January 2027 or something like that. So that's what they're giving me. So there's like all of these changes coming. So when that happens, you're going to find that there'll be a lot of healing of Earth, certainly from the galactics. But I also feel that the angelic realm, I'm writing a book on angels anyway, but around the angelic realm, they're saying to me that they are still going to be supporting the human form to some degree, for it has not yet been fully matured. They're saying to me, as if someone is 22 to 23, so beginning their maturity space, but not finished their maturity space. And that will be on a planet away from us, not known at this moment. They're saying to me, not known at this moment, but that will be in another galaxy. For that galaxy needs to go through a similar path of Earth, but of a higher energy. Okay. Wow. So it's really quite vast, as in what they're talking about happening, and things like that. Well, okay, I'm just trying to keep the gentleman down.
Love it.
Like, it's a little bit cranky. So yeah, because I never know what comes through when they channel. I don't know what he's going to say. So I'm just saying, just stay in the background there for 5. So
I love it. Oh my goodness. I just love that. I think everybody, we just got a gift then, because Janelle just dropped into and got the messages that we all, from what I asked, and what a gift. Like it came through so naturally, didn't it? You were like,
yeah,
it's like download after download. It was fascinating to watch. So that was a little taste of what you can get at the HarmonyFest if you book in with a session with Janelle. She'll be in the community over the 3 days, 11th, 12th, 13th, and you can book in to have a 30-minute session, is it?
Yeah, so I chose 30 minutes because you get a lot more information. 15's too quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Yeah. But that was just so fascinating. And to think that, to me, it just came through as a message of the Great Awakening, in a sense, because 62.9%, I mean, the fact that it's that you're that accurate is incredible. But yeah, it's like, that's quite a bit. That's a lot of people waking up.
Yeah, it is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And listening to,
Yeah, and I think that's why they're doing it in 2 lots. It's like if they take too many, it's like the people that are left, it's too intense, the emotion's too intense. So that will change the dynamic.
Okay, so it'll be more balanced and 2025, that's not far off either. That's not too far in the future. Like this
No.
year, just like bang, like the years just
Yeah.
fly. But fascinating. I'm excited for you and the people who are going to be connecting with you over that 3 days. Is there anything else you wanted to share today in
What
regards
else?
to what your gift or anything at all?
Okay. I can connect to people that have passed, but they don't stay in for a half an hour. It's very, they come in and they'll like give me a picture or words. I've had a lot of people, you know, come to me, can you see my brother? You know, he died a long time ago. And I'm like, okay. I said, I don't know why, but I can't see that. I can only see his feet. I can see his feet. It's like sugarcane. He's standing in a sugarcane field. She said, no, that's fine. He committed suicide. You know, so, and I get the picture. I get the whole thing. I have done investigative work. It's intense. I see everything. I hear everything. It's not really something that's all that comfortable. I have done it. But yeah, so I can bring someone in that's passed if it's their choice. It's always their choice.
Free will,
you
isn't
have
it?
to ask permission.
Yeah, definitely. I get that. Yep.
They stay for maybe, you know, 5-10 minutes. Oh, I'm weeding the garden. What is it that you need?
Oh, so this can all happen when you're just doing your everyday mundane things, or not mundane, but I love weeding. Actually, it's a meditation for me. But you know, there's no time for it. It's just we'll pop in when it's necessary, and has that guided? Just one last question, because I love this topic.
Right.
I watch all those shows, you know. What's his name? The Clairvoyant and
John Edwards.
Was it? No, the young fellow. Got his face.
I've seen the video. I can't remember his name. Is it Zach or something like it's an unusual name?
Yeah, something. But yeah, I what was the question now? What was the question? Oh yes. So as far as your own life, you guided by this and how has it really impacted you in a positive way to be guided with such a gift? I mean, do you check in and do you get information you need for? Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I just get information. So 2016 saw what was coming, all right, with the money changes and all that type of stuff, all right? Okay.
Yeah.
And then this, for about the last, nearly 18 months, about 15 months, Spirit's been saying to me, Janelle, you only need what you can carry. Okay. Now I have sold my home. I have a little Getz, 2-door, 3-door Getz, right? They've put me in a caravan and I'm downsizing. I've had 3 changes in the last 3 weeks around where I'm living.
Yep.
And they just step in and they go, no, not this one, not happy. Off you go, this way, this way. So I get it all the time. I do get it all the time.
And you obviously trust that whole process.
Yeah, and that's part of what I feel people, if people can have faith and trust in what they're receiving, because it's a different energy, like you're aware that your body changes or you get heat in your back or your hands get really hot or, you know, there's physical things to show us. If you can trust that, then they're more willing to walk forward.
Right.
Because if you don't trust and have the faith that what they're giving you is true, then they're wasting their time in their space.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no point. They would give up on coming and giving you the messages, wouldn't they? In a sense, they'd like,
and that's it.
You're not listening, so we'll get somewhere where someone that will take action. But I love that.
Yeah, so, just different people, different spaces.
Yeah. And I think some people could find that quite fearful too.
Yeah. And that's it. And it's overcoming that fear. That's one of those lessons.
Yeah.
Is like recognizing. So for me, when I've first started, I'd lay the cards. I don't know the meanings of any of the tarot cards. For me, it's the colors, right? But I'd start to get messages from the cards. I'd be looking at the cards and I'll be saying to this girl, da 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 da. And I'm like, but I felt that my vision went a bit blurry. And next thing I was like getting all this information. So it's like trusting that space.
You
know, you start to walk forward in that knowledge.
I love it. Yeah, that's so important. And because a lot would just race off to the doctor. But something wrong with me. But it's something coming through, which is quite a unique style, isn't it? But from anything, like if anyone wants to connect with Janelle throughout the festival, then please, the links will be in the comments, I believe, and please book in, because whether it's a past life, a medical, I see you're medical intuitive, connecting with loved ones, which is, I find, would be really beautiful, because often they leave without a message. And it'd be such a beautiful thing to, and I know my personal experience with my mum coming to me after she passed, that's when I really started to believe.
Nice.
And it was so vivid and so real and such a gorgeous message. And it was in my deepest, darkest time. Again, solar return, 28, 29.
Yes.
There was a lot happening. So this is real, and you cannot deny when things happen like that. So come and connect with Janelle in the Sacred You Harmony Festival event in October. Book a time for 30 minutes. From what I've heard today, it is truly going to be a gift to you as well, to yourself, to have that opportunity and get what you need to get. So,
I love it. It's a real passion.
I can
see something
that.
I really enjoy.
So amazing. Thank you so much for your time and your energy and your beautiful sharing today. Such a blessing to have people like you in the world, helping others to transform and transmute and connect with themselves is what I'm all about, right? Connecting inside. So blessings and love to everyone here watching. Any questions, pop them in the comments, but book in to see Janelle at the HarmonyFest.
Thank you, Jo. It was lovely doing the interview with you. We had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, really. It was really good.
Great. I'm so happy to have met you as well. And we'll see you at HarmonyFest.
Yes, most